Brenda, a single mother of a teenage daughter, had recently moved into a new neighborhood. One evening while she was in her room, she noticed her young neighbor Mark looking in her direction from his window. Startled, she quickly closed the curtains, wondering if it was just her imagination. Later that night, she glanced outside again and saw Mark still watching. This time, instead of reacting with shock, she decided to confront him. She opened her window and firmly asked him if he needed something. Embarrassed, Mark apologized and looked away. The next day, Brenda's daughter, Isabel, who had taken a liking to Mark, excitedly went over to his house to show him some outfit choices for an upcoming event. However, she felt disappointed when Mark seemed distracted and uninterested. As the days passed, Brenda and Mark occasionally exchanged polite greetings, but she remained cautious, ensuring her privacy was respected. Eventually, Mark learned to respect boundaries, and life in the neighborhood returned to normal. Isabel sat in her room crying. When her mother, Brenda, noticed her distress, she gently asked what was wrong. Isabel hesitated before admitting that she felt ignored and unappreciated, particularly by Mark. Concerned for her daughter, Brenda decided to confront Mark. She went to his house and firmly asked him why he had been treating Isabel so coldly. "My daughter is kind and thoughtful. Why do you constantly ignore and dismiss her?" she demanded. "We are all neighbors here, and we should treat each other with respect." Her frustration got the better of her, and she raised her voice. However, as she saw the look on Mark's face, she realized that her words had affected him deeply. Regretting her harsh tone, she softened and reassured him that communication and kindness were important. Mark, seemingly overwhelmed, leaned in impulsively and kissed her. Brenda immediately pulled away, stunned by his actions. She firmly told him that this was inappropriate, and that he needed to find a better way to express himself. Embarrassed, Mark retreated to his room, leaving Brenda alone in the living room, deep in thought. Later that evening, Brenda noticed Mark glancing toward her house from his window once again. This time, instead of ignoring it, she decided to confront the situation directly. She stepped outside, approached him, and sternly told him to respect boundaries and personal space. Mark hesitated, and Brenda, sensing his confusion, asked, "Why did you kiss me? Was it out of loneliness? Desperation?" She reminded him that true connections are built on understanding, not impulse. With that, she left him to reflect on his actions, hoping he would learn from the experience. Isabel sat in her room, visibly upset. When Brenda asked her what was wrong, Isabel admitted that she felt ignored and unappreciated, particularly by Mark. Concerned, Brenda decided to speak with Mark. She confronted him, asking why he had been distant toward Isabel. "She deserves kindness and respect just like everyone else," she told him firmly. During their conversation, Mark opened up about his struggles, and Brenda, seeing his vulnerability, offered words of encouragement. However, Mark misinterpreted her kindness and made an impulsive move, which left Brenda in shock. She quickly set boundaries, making it clear that respect was essential. As days passed, Brenda received an anonymous bouquet of flowers with a note saying, "You are beautiful." Unsure of who sent it, she brushed it off. Later, she noticed Mark acting differently, often glancing her way. One evening, Brenda saw Mark near her house. He approached hesitantly, but she firmly reminded him that personal boundaries must be respected. Mark seemed conflicted, and Brenda urged him to seek a healthier way to express his emotions. Meanwhile, Isabel noticed changes in Mark's behavior and felt confused. At school, she asked him why he had been distant. Their conversation left her feeling uneasy. Back at home, Brenda had an unexpected encounter with Mark's father, who was concerned about his son's time spent around their house. Misunderstandings arose, but Brenda reassured him that Isabel and Mark were just friends. As Brenda reflected on everything, she realized the importance of clear communication and emotional boundaries. In the end, she chose to focus on herself and her daughter, ensuring a positive environment for both of them. Isabel devised a plan to help her mother, Brenda, regain her confidence. She convinced Mark to invite Brenda to the village festival, hoping it would be an opportunity for her to enjoy herself again. Brenda, hesitant at first, was surprised when Mark approached her in the forest. "What do you want?" she asked. "I want to take you to the festival," he replied. She looked at him skeptically. "I thought you were going with Isabel." Mark hesitated before responding. "I am, but I also wanted to talk to you." At that moment, Isabel arrived and asked Mark for his support in mending her relationship with her mother. However, Tension built when misunderstandings surfaced, leading Isabel to accuse Brenda of being too controlling. Back home, Isabel confronted Brenda saying, "You have to choose your past or your future." Brenda was taken aback but realized her daughter needed to see her as strong and independent. That night, while Isabel prepared for the festival, Brenda reflected on her past mistakes and how she had allowed certain relationships to define her self-worth. She resolved to focus on her daughter and their future. Brenda eventually arrived at the festival alone, making it clear that she was choosing herself and her daughter over any unhealthy relationships. She found Isabel and told her, "Thank you for helping me see that I can be happy on my own." In the end, Brenda and Isabel embraced their new beginning together, learning that self-respect and family mattered more than anything else.